All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Thursday, October 3rd, 2024, the next installment in the KubeStellar Community Meeting. Welcome, everybody. If you have not already joined our mailing list, I don't know how you got here, but you can get there by going to kubestellar.io/join us. You can either do that with join us without the underscore or with the underscore. Once you've joined that list, then you'll get the invitations to this meeting. Plus, you'll get access to this agenda and any other artifacts that we have in our storage. Okay. Additionally, we have a Slack channel, KubeStellar Dev. It's located in the Kubernetes organization. Go to slack.kubernetes.io to get an invite, and then go to KubeStellar-dev. All right, so we are proud members of the CNCF Sandbox community, and as such, we abide by a contributor code of conduct. So I'll read it here. As contributors and maintainers in the CNCF community and in the interest of fostering an open and welcoming community, we pledge to respect all people who contribute through reporting issues, posting feature requests, updating documentation, submitting pull requests or patches, and other activities. We are committed to making participation in the CNCF community a harassment-free experience for everyone, regardless of level of experience, gender, identity and expression, sexual orientation, disability, personal appearance, body size, ethnicity, race, age, religion, or nationality. Basically, that just means be nice to everybody, please. Good thing to do as a general rule. Okay. Let's see. The call is being recorded, of course. If you don't want to be on the recording, either visually or audibly, then please mute your microphone or turn off your camera or leave the meeting completely. Okay, so let's move on. I copied up the agenda for next meeting, so don't use that one. Scroll on down. So for today's meeting, I've got a couple of things on the list. Let's get started. So there's been some updates about crate only, and that so this has been the implementation is going to be changing slightly. Instead of 1 bit, it's going to be 1 bit per binding policy. And so 1 bit per binding, instead of 1 bit per binding policy, it will be 1 bit per binding policy clause. And so that'll allow you to do individual binding policy clauses instead of just the overarching binding policy for create only. Anybody want to expound on that or have questions about it? Okay. Uh, okay, so let's move on to the next. So we have an
Actually,
all-in-one
sorry,
demo
Andy.
environment. Oh, go ahead,
Sorry,
Mike.
as a little, yeah. There is still some debate on the interface. So in the PR for that, I'll get the number just a sec here. It is 2463. There is still some design debate going on.
Okay, thanks for that, Mike. Perfect. Okay, there's an all-in-one development environment for deployment, all-in-one demo environment deployment script that was created by the last IFOS set of interns over the summer, and now is being further matured by the folks in this fall's IFOS program. So a person by the name of Krish is working on that and has had already has a PR open. I believe Kevin's already interacting with him on this. So, Kevin, anything you want to add to that, or are we still in the process of just opening communications? Okay. I think that's where we're at. So essentially that's underway.
Oh,
It's getting underway. Oh, go ahead.
sorry, I was muted. Yeah, so no, we're talking, and the PR is almost good. I have a couple minor suggestions on where to put things, and we need to adjust some heading levels so that the automatic table of contents works.
Okay.
So, and I'm also going to show Krish how to trigger a render so that he can see how it will actually look on the website, because that's a really useful tool as opposed to the naked markdown.
All right, good. Okay, thank you for that. All right, so we'll see how that goes. The folks there, as expected, they've run into that rut where they've either installed once and would like to install again and have found that there's remnants left over and have not been able to accomplish that, or they've moved into another avenue where they're having difficulty, understanding what exactly you can do with Kubernetes. So some mixture of all of the above. And we'll see how they progress over time, and hopefully some of those experiences will lead back to better documentation or just yeah, or better guidance for people who are attempting to use our project for the first time. Two other of the IFOS folks are working on a scenario script for disconnected operation. As using kind clusters, you can use Docker to disconnect the network interfaces, and so that should show up as a disconnected cluster. So that's another one that's underway, and then there's another item that's not yet quoted here, but that's not yet ready to be placed in this list. Has to do with creating a user interface for reading elements of the KubeStellar components, and so that it can be displayed in either list or graphical format for the purpose of helping people navigate KubeStellar once it's up and running, and they're actually managing individual clusters, remote clusters, and workloads to those clusters. So look for that to be added to this list at some point, but it's not yet ready. It's still on the back of a napkin somewhere. Okay, any questions on those initiatives? Okay, is Braulio with us?
Oh, yes.
Okay, Braulio, why don't you take it over here, your performance?
Yes. So PR 2458 was merged at the beginning of this week. Yeah, that provide instructions and how to do multiple deployments of the monitoring tools for the KubeStellar control plane. Yeah, thanks Mike for the comments and the feedback. I'll follow up with the new PR just to polish more our documentation with those instructions per se. This architecture has been tested and validated in both KubeStellar, OpenShift, and the plain Kubernetes cluster with kind. For deployment on OpenShift, there are some minor modification on the instruction that I'll be pushing a new PR with those instructions per se. And also now I'm conducting the performance experiments on KubeStellar. We are using our benchmark workload and our new multi-cluster monitoring architecture. And in the next weeks, I'll present more results of those experiments. That's all from my side, Andy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Braulio? Okay, summarization work is in progress still. Folks that are working on that are currently out on holiday, so I think we'll get more information as they come back to work next week. So that's still underway. Franco, I think there was some changes to the Helm chart. Do you want to comment on that?
Sure. So in the past couple of weeks, we have been reviewing the status of the Helm chart, especially after Mike merged back the transport controller into the KubeStellar repo. So one thing that we felt was not working very well was the testing of the local build of the controllers and the local Helm chart. So by the E2E test, the actual testing was not using not using the Helm chart, was using individual controllers and stuff like that. So we decided to rework the core Helm chart and completely remove the Helm chart for the KubeStellar controller and for the transport controller, we merged a YAML that used to be in those charts directly into the core chart. So now instead of having the core chart calling upon the other two Helm chart, the core chart does the job of installing both controller in the WDSs. The simplification allowed us to use directly the local copy of the Helm chart and the locally built controller images to do some testing of for the developers. So that has been implemented in the PR that has been merged by Mike. Thank you, Mike, for the review. 2465 was merged already. As a follow-up, we started three actually new PR, two by me and one by Mike. Mike is updating the documentation to match the new structure, and the two new PR 2473 and 2474 are doing some cleanup work. One is dedicated to cleaning up the other path that is used during the release process, where after the release is done, we want to test the release. So we are working on cleaning up the path, also using the released chart. And the other PR is working basically in removing the use of customizer to create the YAML for the KubeStellar controller, because since we don't have an Helm chart anymore for the controller, we think that it could significantly simplify the repo and the process of creating the core chart.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions for Franco? Okay. All right. I'm recently back from KCD. I was down there at KubeCon Day in DC. Lightning talk was given, and I think well received. I think it was a good forum for us to be involved with. Look forward to doing more of those in the future. The 5-minute format was actually really helpful, I believe, because a lot of people, you only have the limited amount of time to focus on what's being said, and everybody's going on the main stage. There's no walking from place to place. So you get a real opportunity to engage people quickly. And, after 5-6 minutes of talking, a lot of people's eyes roll back in their heads anyway. I find anyway, some of the longer talks that were there, people got distracted, we're not paying attention, etc. But those 5-minute talks, I think, were really winners. So I'm looking forward to more of those type of opportunities in the future. We'll see how they go. I know we've got a few of them coming up at KubeCon. So with any luck, yeah, there'll be more good stuff up ahead. I'm looking for the next opportunity, which is going to be for us, will be in London. We have Salt Lake City coming up, of course, in a few weeks. Well, actually more than a few weeks, about 6-7 weeks, towards the mid to end of November. And then they will be looking ahead at London, where KubeCon EU will be held in April. So that CFP is now open, and I encourage you all to go up there and enter a talk, whether you've given it once before or not given it at all. So we'll try and reinforce that again. Okay, any questions on any of the KubeCon events or highlights? Okay. All right. Cornell's SDF program. There's still work going on there. We've got a new batch of folks, new graduate students working with us this semester, and they're working on some AI/ML obfuscation, the ability to mask sensitive data such that it can't be reverse engineered from folks in agritech. This is sort of kind of a safe computing space that they're developing. It includes KubeStellar and Ursula, the developing software that they've been creating to handle the transfer of this type of data back and forth between their environments. So look for more of that up ahead. Braulio, anything you want to add to that for Cornell?
No, nothing to add. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. All right, so that about does it. Is there any other topics or subjects we'd like to discuss today? All right, folks. Thank you all for attending, and look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.